Hi and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original film, Extraction 2. Let me know in the comments, did you enjoy Extraction 1? What was your favorite moment? I know mine. I'm excited to talk about this one. Let's jump in. After barely surviving his grievous wounds from his mission in Dhaka, Bangladesh, Tyler Rake is back and his team is ready to take on their next mission. So we seem to be getting a cornucopia of these John Wick-esque type action movies. Close hand-to-hand combat movies with big action set pieces that now seem to be a dime a dozen. And the ones that stand out for me above those are the ones that end up with amazing choreography that is pushing the boundaries of doing action in a different way, something that we haven't seen, or a combination of action sequences put together in a way that we haven't seen, keeping it fresh and new. Now that's really hard considering how much action films there are, particularly like in the John Wick style. And then we get Extraction 1, which is a combination of Mission Impossible-esque action style with John Wick. One of the things that made the first film famous is their one shot. The one shot is basically Steadicam, continuous use of an action sequence that they have to plan for weeks ahead. That is often the hardest thing to do in a film, but when it comes out, when it's executed well, it's something that you really enjoy. You might not know that like creatively what it is, but you remember enjoying those moments because it really places you in the action. It really it's almost a step forward where it's almost a bit of shaky cam. You get to experience each movement as if you were doing it because there's never any cutting, and you get another one of those in this. And I would say they up the ante. You kind of have to when it comes to an action film like this. You want to see bigger, better, more. No beams in the sky, please, because it's not a superhero film, but you do want to see what else they can do. They've showcased what they can do with the first one, and now we have the second one, and we're hoping for more and bigger. And that's fine, and you're going to be in it. If you love those action sequences, you're going to enjoy this film, because once it starts, it barely stops to catch a breather. I like the amount of action and where we see our action. So there's like a prison heist. The action sequence in there is incredible, some of the best you're probably likely to see this year. And then we have a sort of computer game level in a building, Die Hard-esque moments that is also, just crazy bonkers, and you're gonna have to put your believability somewhat to the side because our characters go through stuff and get beaten in a way that reminds me of back of the Arnold Schwarzenegger days where Arnie could take any sort of punishment and keep on ticking. Now at the end of the first film we saw our character die basically, but obviously they launched into a second film and we've even been greenlit a third film, so we know that he is going to survive and that he is part of this team to execute this new mission. This is where it comes and sets itself apart from some of the others. It has a better storyline because, well, it has a better hook, I would say, a better draw into it because the mission is somewhat personal to him. So they have something to fight for. It's not just someone's paying them, which is normally what they do with these missions, but someone has asked for his help and he ends up having to say yes, really, because it's really personal. And that makes us care about it, and especially when it's like rescuing a family, that makes us care that much more. I don't know that I care about the characters that he's rescuing, but I care about him being in danger, especially as he's just been so injured. There's a bit of a montage to get him ready again, but at the back of your mind while you're watching this is like, can he take that amount of beating? Should he really be doing this again? I know I would be dead way back when. And that's kind of what installs the intensity for you, but also the fact that Chris Hemsworth is willing to put himself in the line of fire as much as possible because he does most of his own stunts. So you'll know if you've seen the trailer where he's on fire, they have to do that. And in order to plan and execute that really well, there's things like accounting for the wind of the day, the temperature. It was freezing where they filmed this particular scene where he's on fire around many stunt guys, everything happening at the same time. And they had to account for when Chris punches his arm on another person and moves it and it's on fire, which way the wind would be blowing so it wouldn't blow, and basically burn himself. He's obviously having fire resistant and clothes and gel, but the complexity of the action that that Chris is willing to put himself through again and again makes it for a bit more realism, because you get to see your actor, not a stunt double, in those moments. So they're just doubling down on that sort of action. And when it comes to the gunplay, it's really unique and quite hard hitting and visceral in places and really fun. So I was enjoying it for the most part. I think it's pretty much on par with the first film. A little bit long in the tooth. Like, I think it's just over 2 hours, and I did feel the time somewhat. I was like, okay, I get it. I know what you're doing. It's waves of bad guys. These guys are so much more than you, better equipped, and you're the underdog, and you have to rescue these people, and we're gonna like some of the team, and maybe some, not all of them survive. You know, that's that sort of aesthetic and feel. Like I said, we've seen this film done a million times, but there is an emotional hook, and the action is incredible. You know, it's directed by the same director who was a stunt guy, written by Joe Russo. It's a team that know what they're doing, especially when it comes to action. So if you love the first one, which I gave a 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5, I'm going to do the same here for this one. A little bit long in the tooth, but I definitely would watch it again. So let me know your feelings about this. Again, 4 Nicolas Cages out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Do give me a like and thumbs up. It does actually help, but I hate asking for all of that. But you know, got to beat the algorithm somehow and get above the millions, the plethora out there. If you enjoy these and you think I put time and effort into it, do share it around. It does help. But most of all, I love that you've spent your time listening to me talk about films and movies, which I love. That is my passion. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.